Thanks everybody for coming out, and I'm going to give some remarks and turn it over to Annette, who's doing a great job for the Fishing Wives. We just heard from Commander Matt Eve, who represents the Pacific region, and we inquired in detail with respect to what safety measures they were willing to take for the fishing season. His answers fell way, way, way short. And I'm here on the ground because I want to know what's going to happen in the air and at sea if there is a rescue needed in this season. And you don't need to be Sherlock Holmes to know something is up here. And I'm glad the Coast Guard met with us this morning, but for all of the moms and kids and families for whom this is a life and death situation, I want to say our delegation is going to stay at it until we get some real answers. Because if you're talking about life and death for somebody's parents and siblings and spouse and kids, they deserve better. Before I turn it over to Tonette, let me just kind of drive home the central point. Minutes matter in the ocean. The wives have consistently educated me that if somebody is in that ocean, they may not be with us in a matter of minutes. And I'll close by way of saying that the commander said something about they're working on additional help with respect to staff. That's good. But then they said something about how it might be sorted out in a couple of years. Not only is that not good enough, but that's not what Donald Trump promised in his first term. So what I want to do is convey a message, and I'm going to stay at this every day until we get this worked out because the stakes are so high. And I can speak for the entire Oregon congressional delegation. So let me turn this over to Tonette and then any of the family that would like to speak next.
So I appreciate you all being here. This is an important moment. We really appreciate Senator Wyden and his team. They have been in communication with us from the very beginning. This was a shocking occurrence for us. We went through this 11 years ago. And after that, we were given assurances that this could not happen again in this way. We understand that our air station has not been staffed for a while. We were not given that information before that happened. And we're very disappointed that there has been a lack of communication between the Coast Guard and pretty much everybody. We take this personally. My boat is going to be Dungeness crab fishing in just a few weeks. I have family members on that boat. We have a very large Dungeness crab fleet, and when things happen, they happen fast. We can't wait 2 hours for a Coast Guard rescue. Once one of our loved ones, one of our commercial fishing men or women are in that water, they have minutes before they have a lack of use of their limbs. Within an hour, even if they have a flotation device, they don't have a high survival rate. So we are looking at them recovering our loved ones, not rescuing our loved ones. This is important. This is life and death. I will say this is, we are super lucky that we have senators that are backing us. But we do believe this is a bipartisan issue. This has nothing to do with politics. This has to do with life and death. And it is really important for us to have our rescue helicopter, to have that backing, to know that when my boat goes out, I don't have to worry about a 2-hour time for the rescue helicopter to come from North Bend. We're here, Newport Fishermen's Wives. Our mission is to educate, and our mission is safety in the industry. And this impacts our industry. This impacts our port immensely.
Questions?
Can you talk about how dangerous crab fishing is in general, especially in this area, and why it makes the situation before reports here.
Yeah, there is data out there that our Dungeness crab fisheries are even more dangerous than the crab fisheries up in Alaska. We are one of the most dangerous industries around the country, and we're a derby fishery, so that means these boats are going out as soon as the season starts, weather depending. But if the large boats are going out, there's about a 2-week window where a lot of the crab come in. And so if the large boats are going out and the small boats are seeing this, it's really their year is made with Dungeness crab fishing. So, sometimes there could be risks that are taken. And, it's not just mechanical issues, weather, we have a very dangerous bar. So, there's a multitude of reasons why we have accidents out at sea or coming in through our bar.
Other questions? Yeah.
Yes, what steps, or is there anything that you can do against federal agents that break the law here in Oregon?
Well, a couple of things. I have serious questions with respect to whether the administration has even complied with the process for making these changes. And I intend to bird dog this until we get answers. You cannot underestimate what even a few minutes means at this point in a fishing season. So this is going to be top priority for me, and I believe I can speak for the Oregon Congressional Delegation that we're all in for this fight because the stakes in terms of safety are so high.
Have you been able to have any of those conversations with the Trump administration this far?
We've had some conversations like today, but today went into more detail than we had previously, and what we heard was unacceptable. This proposition that after everything we went through the last round, Donald Trump said we're not going to do this again, and now we're back hip deep in the middle of it with only a few days till the season starts, is just way, way out of line in terms of what we were promised. And I'll also say that when you talk about budget choices, I'm in charge of that because I'm the senior guy on the tax committee. I'm going to say we can take a bit from the billionaires and give it to the fishing families, and we can go to work.
Time for one more question before we do the tour, then just a reminder, he'll also be at the town hall if you have questions. Go ahead, who's the last question?
Do you have any other detail on reasons, let's say, why the helicopter was moved? What were you specifically dissatisfied with regarding the Coast Guard's response?
Obviously, it was moved because they didn't understand how strongly we felt and that maybe they could get away with it. I mean, you often have people in government say, oh, we're serious about this, oh, we're going to follow up, but then you go to a meeting like this, and people say they'll take care of it in a couple of years. That's not good enough. You want to have the last word?
Yeah, I just want to say that because we have not had communication with the Coast Guard, because this is such an emergent issue for us, that's why we have taken it to the courts. And we feel very strongly that they have broken the law and that we have a very strong case against them.
We'll go on tour and answer questions.